Dear students, this video is in continuation with my last video, that is an introduction to taxonomy. And in this video, I'm going to explain you different type of taxonomy. Students, before I start, I must tell you this topic is very important and you will definitely expect a question to define any one of type of taxonomy in your annual examination as well as in your practical viva. Student, this video also include a topic ladistic, which is in the type of taxonomy, and this is also a part of unit 12 of your syllabus, and you will also expect a question to write a note on cladistic, define cladogram, or to define cladistic in your practical viva annual examination as well as in your interviews which you are going to face in your future. So let's start today's topic, that is types of plant taxonomy. Types of taxonomy are following. First is morphotaxonomy. It is the taxonomy which is based on the morphological character of an organism. In morphological character, we considered all the visible character of a plant, like its leaves, types of leaves, inflorescence, color of flower, fruit, etc. And you can also preserve plant or plant parts in a herbarium sheet for further classification and identification. Next is cytotaxonomy. It is taxonomy which is based on the cytological character. That is, a cell may be eukaryotic or it may be prokaryotic, or you may consider other character of a cell like placement of your Z chromosome or your nucleoli or type of chromatin or heterochromatin material inside the cell. All these may act as a base for the identification of an organism. Next is chemotaxonomy. In chemotaxonomy, specific chemicals of the plants are used in the classification. Students, plant may contain different type of chemicals like flavonoids, saponin, alkaloids, and if a specific chemical is present in large amount, then it acts as a base for the identification and classification of that plant. For example, a local plant that is khatti mithi or khatmalori, also known as Rumex hastatus or oxalis species, they are known by the presence of oxalic acid in them, and that's why they are sour in nature. Next is karyotaxonomy. It is based on the number, size and structure of chromosomes. So here the base of classification is chromosome. We know very well that if we have same number of chromosome, that we categorize a organism into the member of a same species. Likewise, we can also see here if there are presence of some giant chromosome like your polytene chromosome or Lamb-Brush chromosome, or there is presence of set chromosome inside the cell, all these act as a base for the classification of that organism or plant, and that is included in the type karyotaxonomy. Next is experimental taxonomy. It is based on the experimental determination of all the characters. When we considered any character of karyotaxonomy or cytotaxonomy, then we need to verify them experimentally, and that is called experimental taxonomy. Next is neosystematics or biosystematics. Students, we also talked about this term in our previous lecture, that is in omega taxonomy, and this concept was given by Huxley in 1940. It includes all the character of organism gathered through different field of the science, including the processes by which they have evolved and maintained. So very simple here, along with other character, we considered evolutionary history of an organism for the classification of an organism. So that is known as neosystematics or biosystematics. Next is serotaxonomy, very important for your examination. Serology is the study of antigen antibody reaction and interaction. So serotaxonomy uses serology in solving taxonomic dispute. So here read what type of interaction antigen antibody have and how they can helpful in the taxonomic classification. Next is numerical taxonomy or taximetrics. It is the numerical evolution of similarities between group of organisms and ordering these groups into higher ranking on the basis of similarities. Means here we considered all the similar character, and on the basis of that we include a plant into a particular species. Then we also compare all the similar character of different species, and then we categorize that species into a genus, and for including all the genus into a family and order, we compare its similar character with the other genera or other family, so that we can place an organism into higher to higher groups. So it is numerical taxonomy or taximetrics that is based on the numerical similarities. Next is holotaxonomy. It includes completion, assemblies and analysis of all the aspects of the taxonomy, like collection of plant, preparation of herbaria, identification, nomenclature, classification, etc., so as to understand the phylogeny of a particular organism. As name indicate, holotaxonomy means we considered here all the aspects collection, starting from the field work, that is collection, then to identification, nomenclature and its phylogenetic evolution. Next is phylosystematics. It is the biological classification related with the reconstruction of evolutionary history and history of speciation. Students, for example, initially we have placed an organism into a different genus or different families, but later on we came to know that it has some different characters which are not noticed or observed earlier, because as we proceed we have latest branches like your chemotaxonomy or your neosystematics, and when we realized at later stages that the plant is not descendant of a particular ancestor, then we reconstruct its evolutionary history. So this reconstruction of evolutionary history is known as phylosystematics. Means phyllo term is used here for the evolution. Next is phenetic or an Adansonian taxonomy. Again, very important term. It is a branch of taximetrics in which the organisms are grouped into taxa on the basis of estimate of overall similarities which we gathered from all the above types of the taxonomy. Means here we consider overall similarities based on the morphotaxonomy, chemotaxonomy, cytotaxonomy, karyotaxonomic and all others. That is called phenetic taxonomy. So students, some terms they seems very similar, but you have to write in examination very appropriate definition of all of these types. Especially if we talk about Adansonian and holotaxonomy, they appear very similar, but you can see the difference. In holotaxonomy we start from the field and collect all the similar character, and then to place an organism into a particular evolutionary lineage and decide its classification, while in phonetics we considered overall similarities from all the above types of taxonomy. Next point is cladistic, that is again the branch or the type of taxonomy. Students, as name literally name indicate, cladistic is the new kids on the block. So cladistic is a modern form of taxonomy that places organism on a branch diagram called as cladogram, that is like a family tree, and it is based on the traits such as DNA similarities and phylogeny. Means here we considered similarities on the genes level and also considered its evolutionary history. This cladistic is helpful to understand evolutionary history of an organism in easy way. So very simple, it is a family tree where we considered evolution of an organism, how the traits are diverse from the ancestor and what type of traits remained or inherited by the plants. So here we considered similarities at the genes levels and along with the evolution of an organism. Students Willi Henning, who is the zoologist from Germany, developed this technique in 1950, but it is not translated into English up to 1966. Student cladistics taxa are grouped on the basis of branching pattern of evolution. Means here family tree is prepared by a branching pattern, and it assumes that species arise by the ancestral species splitting into two. Means we have an ancestral species, then some of the characters they diverge from the ancestral species, and then we have two species from a single ancestor. It produces a branching diagram called as cladogram. So student, you can see here this is a cladogram which is represented by a root that is an ancestor, and then we can see it has different branching type. Some give rise to clade and some give rise to outgroup. So clade represent the sister descendants which have almost similar characters as that of ancestor, but outgroup that represent quite a different character from the ancestor, and it become a very different species from the clade, and so that we can include or place it in a separate family or genus. Students, node is the point from where these clades they split up or arises. So you can see this diagram. It's a very important and it is known as cladogram. It is family tree or history of an organism. So let's understand these terms more clearly. See, clade, it is a lineage or branch. Each branch of cladogram is an example of clade. Matlab, means this cladogram or branch of cladogram is example of clade. It is not a branch, but it is an example of clade. A clade represents a group that include a common ancestor and all the descendants and a particular node and all its connected branches. Means clade that starts from a root that is common ancestor, and it also represents all the descendants which arises from that ancestor and a particular node that is a point of splitting and all the connected branches. And root, the root is the initial common ancestor of all the organism in a cladogram. It is the point or common ancestor or base from where all the clade arises. A root is the starting point for any cladogram. However, the root might also indicate that it arises from some other larger clade. So you can see it is a common ancestor and it may arise from some other common ancestor, because this is not an initial point, because this cladogram is a hypothetical diagram be presumed for a particular organism to construct its evolutionary history. Then node, it is a point or hypothetical ancestor that gave rise to two or more daughter taxa. Again, it is an ancestor hypothetical which we presumed. It is not in actual, we presumed that, and it gave rise to two or more daughter taxa. Node indicate the bifurcating branch point of divergence in all cladogram. Means whenever you prepare a cladogram, nodes indicate the bifurcating or dividing point. A node exists in each point where a group of organisms divide or separate into other different groups. Means node is the point from where species split up into different groups. Then taxon or outgroup, as I earlier explained, a taxon or an outgroup is the most distantly related group of organisms that is not necessarily a clade. It may be a clade, but it's not always that it should be a clade. It may have so many different characters that we place it a separate group. This function as a point of reference or comparison for rest of the cladogram. We can see or compare what type of character they are diverged from the ancestor, so it will act as a reference for further classification of that organism and in the evolutionary history. Then a branch in a cladogram is a line that connects all other parts of the cladogram. So function of branch is to connect the different parts of the cladogram. Branch length in some cases represent the extent of divergence or the extent of the relationship among different taxa. If the branch is short or placed close to each other, then it represents the similarity of the character. And if the branch is quite far from the other branches, then it shows divergence or the distinct characters of the descendants. So branch length sometimes depict, but it's not always that, because it is the presumption on which we are preparing the evolutionary history. Then next is shape, different style and shapes of the cladogram. There are different styles of the cladogram based on the shapes of the branching and the orientation of the branching. However, because the cladogram is an unscaled representation of phylogenetic analysis, the shape, length and orientation of the branching don't matter. Again, I am repeating here, then if you have to prepare a evolutionary history at present time, then you have to presume the characters at the past. So you cannot have a very fixed or definite scales for the representation. So there may be some deviation or variation in the shape, length and orientation of the branches. So it doesn't matter if there are changes for the same type of cladogram. The following are some styles of showing cladogram. So you can see here in both of these cladogram there is a root that is the initial point, and then C that is the out group, which show very different character from the AB, which are the clade. So these are the cladogram for the same type of organism, but here their shape doesn't matter. You can presume according to your will. In both of these diagrams, two phylogenetic characters are studied and represent the same relationship between the three organisms. So student, this is the cladistic. It's a important topic, and you can see this can be asked in unit 12 as well as in unit 1st, that is closing and ending, and it is simply a family tree or construction of a family tree on the basis of its evolution, and it is totally a hypothetical construction that starts from an ancestor which is represented by a root, and then there are branches which connect all the parts of this cladogram, and there is a node which is the bifurcating point from which these clade appears. And there are descendants which may show similar characters or the different characters. Here shape and the branching length doesn't matter, and they may show similarities or they may show differences. So it's the cladogram. So I repeat once again, cladistic is a modern form of taxonomy that places organism in a branched diagram called cladogram that is based on the traits such as DNA similarities as well as evolution. It helps to understand the evolutionary history of an organism in a easy way. Or we can see cladistic is the new kids or new descendants on a block. So cladistic again is a type of taxonomy which help in the understanding of evolutionary history of plants and placing them in appropriate position. So students, I just reevaluate or recapitulate all these terms here. Phonetic Adansonian taxonomy, that is the base of classification on the basis of overall similarities. Phylosystematics, it is the classification related with reconstruction of evolutionary history. Holotaxonomy, here we considered all the tricks of the taxonomic classification, that is collection, herbarium preparation, nomenclature, classification and all. Numerical taxonomy, it is a taxonomy based on the numerical similarities between the groups. Serotaxonomy based on the antigen antibody relationship. Neosystematics, it is the overall character of the plant based on their evolutionary history. Experimental taxonomy, it is based on the experimental determination. Karyotaxonomy, it is based on the number, size and structure of the chromosome. Chemotaxonomy, it is the chemical which are the base for classification. Cytotaxonomy based on the cytological character, and morphotaxonomy based on the morphological character. So I hope you understood today's topic and prepare your notes according to this lecture. Thank you for listening me.